welcome back to Vibing with Kimmy. And today I wanted to talk about something I know all of us have been through at some point, and that is heartbreak. So I wanted to focus mainly on heartbreak from relationships that end. But then I realized heartbreak is such a broad term. You could be heartbroken from situations that are not going well in your life, heartbroken from losing a loved one, either through death or divorce or breakups. So, yeah, it's such a broad term, but how do you deal with it? Firstly, I want you to know that you're not alone. And obviously, I always have my trusted little notebook with all these verses that I write down, all these notes. And you might be thinking, yeah, do these heartbreak stories occur in the Bible? Are they there? Yeah, they are. And there are verses that help us go through it and get through it. And the first one is Psalms chapter 34, verse 18. I love this one. We'll read it. It says, Jehovah is close to the brokenhearted. He saves those who are crushed in spirit. He is close to the brokenhearted. So in your moment right now, your moment of despair, your moment of aching, your moment of heartbreak, just know that God is close to you. God is with you. He is near you. And it just gives you some sort of peace, knowing that somebody understands, knowing that your creator understands what you're going through, and in your moments of feeling crushed, he's there with you. The other verse is Isaiah chapter 57, verse 15, which says that he resides with those who are crushed and lowly in spirit. You see how he understands how we're feeling in these moments? In these moments, we feel crushed. It's true, we feel really crushed, we feel broken, we feel low. And he resides with us in these moments. He says he will revive the heart of those being crushed. Now, this whole he resides, it reminded me of that song, when I am down and oh, my soul so weary, and troubles come and my heart burdened be, and I am still waiting. I don't remember the rest of the lyrics, but I know you remembered the song. It just says, when we're down and our souls are weary, God is with us. He sits right next to us. He is with us. He understands. He resides with us. So we are comforted by knowing that our Creator cares about us in our heartbroken moments. And he says he will revive your hearts. He will revive your low spirit. The other verse is Psalms 147, verse 3. It says he will heal the brokenhearted and bind up their wounds. I loved this. He will bind up your wounds. He knows that when you're heartbroken, when you're sad, when you're in despair, you feel like your heart is aching. You feel like there's really a hole in your heart. There's pain. It's ripping apart, literally. He says he will bind up those wounds. We have to trust in God. We have to believe he cares. We have to let it go. Let God. Let go and let God. He will handle it. But then, of course, as human beings, it's so common for us to say, but why is it happening? Why me? God, why? I remember in Habakkuk was questioning God in chapter 1, I think, verse 3. And he was questioning God, like, why is this happening? Why is that happening? He was so in despair. But God didn't curse him for questioning him. He wasn't angry at him for questioning him. He understood that he was hurt. He's just a human being. He goes through these painful feelings. He comforted him. So, of course, God doesn't hate us for questioning him. He doesn't punish us for questioning him, but he understands that we are human and we go through these feelings and we're wondering why. But why? Why are we going through that? If God is allowing it, why? But I need you to pay attention. God allows it, but he doesn't cause it. Where then is it coming from? Let's read 1 John chapter 5, verse 19. 1 John Okay. So verse 19 reads, "We know that we originate with God, but the whole world is lying in the power of the wicked one." The whole world is lying in the power of the wicked one. Of course, that being the devil. He's allowing the sickness that is causing your heartbreak. He's allowing the hurt that is in your heart. He's allowing the heartache, the situation you're going through. It's the devil. It's not God. God allows it, of course, but only for a certain period of time, and he knows his reasons. And so we are certain that our pain, that our suffering, that our hurting is coming from the devil. And Jehovah hates that we're going through this. He hates seeing us suffer. He hates seeing us go through these painful moments. But then he understands it when we question him. Isaiah chapter 55, verse 8 and 9, he tells us that his ways are not our ways, nor are his thoughts our thoughts. So we just have to trust the process. As cliche as that may sound, trust the process. Trust it. Trust God. He knows what he's doing. He knows how he will take care of everything, all your pain, in due time. He knows. Trust and wait. Job chapter 34, verse 10, it guarantees us that God does not act wickedly. He does not act wickedly. Satan is influencing the world to be so deceitful, so hateful, so cruel. He's influencing you to think that God is causing all this, but no. We are under the influence of the devil, not God. God is not causing this. Satan wants you to feel a certain type of way, but then we are so comforted that God does not cause suffering. 1 John chapter 4 verse 8 says, God is love. To know God is to know love. So we are guaranteed that our Creator knows how we feel. Our Creator cares and understands how we feel. He cares about us. He cares, and in due time, he will help you. It's just a moment. I know you feel like it's taking forever, but it's just a moment. Remember in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verses 1 to 8, it states a whole list of times and seasons. Like there's a time for this and a time for that, a time for reaping, a time for sowing. There's a time for everything. So for you, you might be in your season, in your time of pain, of suffering, of heartbreak, of heartache, but it can't always be night. The sun has to rise at some point, right? So your time for happiness, for joy, for healing will come. There's a time for everything. In verse 11 of chapter 3 in Ecclesiastes says that God has made everything beautiful in its time. So we have to remember that in his time, he will fix everything. He will take care of it. Trust him. Trust his time. He even tells you to come to him. He asks you to pour your heart out to him. He will help you. He will heal you. He will make you strong. So continue praying for strength. You've been through dark times before. You've been through heartbreaking times before, but you're still standing. You're not operating on your own strength. Otherwise, we would all have stumbled. This is not our strength we operate on. We get our strength from above. So we are guaranteed that God is holding our hand. He will help you heal. He will take care of your feelings. He will take care of your heart. He will bind up those wounds. Now, I want to close with Numbers chapter 6. I'm going to read from verse 24 to verse 26, but I want special attention to verse 26, Numbers chapter 6. It reads, "May Jehovah bless you and safeguard you. May Jehovah make his face shine upon you, and may he favor you." Verse 26, "May Jehovah lift up his face toward you and grant you peace." This is me to you. I hope Jehovah lifts up his face towards you, and may he grant you peace. I know you feel like you can't find peace. I know in these hard moments you feel like you can't heal, but I pray that he heals you. I pray that he gives you peace, because we need it in heartbreaking moments, in heartbreaking situations, in these sad feelings. We need peace, and I know that Jehovah, our Creator, our God, he cares about us. Trust his timing. Know that the devil is the cause for all this pain and suffering. Know that Jehovah is with you. He cares about you. Trust that he will give you strength. Always pray. Pray, pray, pray. You will be taken care of. You will be healed. Remember, it's just a bad day. It's not a bad life. It's just a season. It can't always be this way. Eventually, I have this statement that I tell myself that things might not happen immediately, but they will happen eventually. And I want you to carry it too. He will grant you peace. I pray that you heal. And I hope you pray too. So yeah, thank you for listening up to this point. See you next video.